One of the main tenets of our brand is to add value to our customers, and we think the way we can add value is to provide them insights into the economy and what's ahead in the business world. So bringing the ability to learn about the economy, to learn about demographic changes and what's really ahead for all of us, we think gives our customers a competitive advantage, and it's a great connection between our customers and the bank, and it solidifies our brand position in the marketplace.
Businesses need to start thinking about the generational shifts that are going on in the Metro Denver area. We're expecting a 4% unemployment rate on average in 2015, so it's going to be a very tight labor market. So companies need to think about what they need to do to make sure that all of their institutional knowledge through the retiring baby boomers is maintained within the companies, as well as how do they attract, retain the millennials that are looking for flexibility and work-life balance.
So there's an interesting dynamic going on in terms of switching from, baby boomers being the significant share to millennials being the next significant share of the labor force. And what's important to be thinking about is that they do business differently. And looking at how do you bridge that gap or bridge that difference between boomers and millennials. And, sometimes boomers laugh about the millennials and their way of being, and similarly, the millennials do the same thing about the boomers. And it's looking at how do you bridge that gap, taking advantage of everything that the millennials bring to the table, and then similarly taking advantage of what the boomers have in terms of institutional knowledge.
I think the biggest takeaway is that the demographics that got people here and the demand for goods and services that has existed in the past is going to change, and it's changing as we see it right now. So it'll be slowly, but it'll happen year after year, but we can look forward to understand that the aging population will impact need for housing, what people buy, what demands are placed on the state government and other public budgets.
I think one of the most interesting takeaways from today is that there's really a good news and a bad news story about the future of the Colorado's economy. First, the Colorado economy is one of the strongest in the United States. We see great job growth and employment growth. Our housing market is solid. And all those things, everyone in the room was optimistic about the future. But there's a bad news side of that as well, because with housing prices moving up, it's harder to be able to afford a house in the new economy. And also with a 4% unemployment rate, it means that businesses have a much harder time finding new employees and paying for them, and that will impact their business. So good news story, bad news story, we all need to anticipate that going forward.